Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. So it's your afternoon live show with nobody else but Petrus. So I hope you are out there and you are out listening and having a good time. So I hope your afternoon is okay. So Namibia, they are busy playing with Italy. So I hope you are busy watching and you are having yourself a good one. So and supporting, the land of the brave. So wherever you are finding yourself, whether perhaps you are at home, so whether perhaps you are somewhere else, or you are in your car, you are driving in a taxi, or you are in Lemundrai, Dongaruk, wherever you might be finding yourself. So it's your favorite station, 103.5 FM. So you are joined by Petrus. So I'm going to be alone in studio today, but we are looking forward in having a good and an awesome time, this wonderful afternoon. So please, you take care, you chill around. So the live score for now, if you are busy watching rugby, wherever you are, you might be finding yourself. So they are in the 52nd 52nd minute of the game, and Italy is having 24 and Namibia is 8. So there's always a very big turnaround in sports. So if you're busy watching, so you continue supporting, make your hashtag on your social medias, put up on your Facebook status, whether it's WhatsApp and stuff like that. So let's support our own team, that is Namibian team, that is busy playing, but they're playing with Italy and the World Cup is started, so we're looking forward and having a good time. So I think they are still in group stages. So it is France played with New Zealand yesterday and they won 27-13. Then today it is Italy versus Namibia, that is now 24-8. Then Ireland versus Romania is gonna be playing at 3:30, and that is gonna be today. So in Australia versus Georgia today at 6. Then England versus Argentina versus that is gonna be at 9 p.m. So there are exciting games that are coming up. So for tomorrow, the Bokke. So South Africa versus Scotland. That's gonna be at 5:45. So please let's support our neighbors. Let's be at a place whereby we're busy supporting them. But wherever you're finding yourself, we are very, very excited. So on that space, we are gonna be starting with our news review, what is happening in our nation, what's happening in our country. And I'm very much happy to bring you some live updates in terms of what is busy happening. But on the note of the rugby that have started today, so the what is this man? The Mr. Hines, that is the CEO of the Rugby Union of Namibia, believes that the team is at the place where it's supposed to be, to win games and give the best results. So he's very much confident of the boys, that they can make all of us proud and give us good results. So, but I'll encourage you. So let's support our team. Let's support our nation, and against all odds. So in sports is very much interesting. So if I like sometimes when it's our country, but there's always that underestimation. People that will be saying, "Nah, man, nothing is ever gonna happen" and stuff like that. But you begin to realize that in many cases, that's not what happens in sports. So there's always a lot of turnaround. And Namibia, by the way, so every World Cup they have been qualifying. So we're just praying and hoping, they can really do their best and give us good results. But we really do appreciate their effort, the team, and everybody that is behind them. Okay, so let's dive into what is busy happening in our nation, happening in our country, and a little bit of abroad. So if you had yesterday's Namibian, there's a story that I found very, very interesting, and that is a lady, a lady that her tongue got cut by the boyfriend with a scissor. It says a Swakopmund man was arrested on Monday after allegedly cutting his ex-girlfriend's tongue in two with a pair of scissors. The Rongo Deputy Commissioner Erastus Ukuyu says Nicanor Katoli, 23, allegedly cut Soini Shihepo's tongue at Mondesa on Sunday. She sustained serious injury, he says, and it's amazing of what is busy was busy transpiring and busy happening in our country. So he says Katoli appeared into the Swakopmund Magistrate Court on Monday and was not granted bail. His case was postponed to the 12th of October for further investigation. The police did not provide details on what led to the incidents. According to Shepo's mother, Unike Nashindengo, 45 years of age, she is heartbroken because her 26-year-old daughter is now unable to speak. I was at home when I received a call at around 11 o'clock at night from my daughter, who sounded terrified. She told me that the father of her 1-year-old toddler was at her place and he may harm her. I immediately called the relative who lives nearby, but she was not reachable, so I decided to go there myself. While still making calls for people to check on her, she says, Angashepo says, by the time she arrived at her daughter's place, the house was surrounded by many people and her daughter was lying on the ground, bleeding from her mouth. When I got there, it was too late. My daughter was already deeply hurt by this man that I was not familiar with. He cut my daughter's tongue with a scissor, she says. Nandishiepo says Katoli was allegedly trying to run away when a group of men from the neighborhood chased after him and caught him. Shiepo was rushed to the Swakopmund State Hospital and later to Katutura Intermediate Hospital. The mother says she was in shock as her daughter was never reported any violent behavior by the boyfriend. I'm not so familiar with this man, and this was the first time I was hearing and seeing something like this. I want him to not be given bail because we do not know what else he's capable of doing to my daughter, she says. She has no scars on her body. He must have tied her up to cut her tongue, she said. She says although her daughter was in a critical condition on Wednesday, she was in a much better state yesterday. A close friend of Shepo, who did not want to be identified, said he deserved to remain behind bars because we don't know what he's capable of. But that's what's busy happening, ladies and gentlemen, in our country, in our nation. So that happened on Monday in Swakopmund. So this guy, and sometimes I wonder, man, if you are listening at home, you're a guy, you're a lady, you people are into a relationship or it's your cousins, sometimes when you read stories like that, sometimes people who have children or have daughters, they don't really quite know the guy that is being dated by their daughter, or they do not know the lady that their son is busy dating. And when things like this happen, it always happens as a shock. But for me, what struck me was, how does a person be so violent to an extent whereby you cut somebody's tongue with a scissor? I mean, it might have taken a lot of fighting and trying to pull out the girl's tongue out of her mouth and just cut the tongue in half, So, but it's certain things that happen, man. It's like when you read certain things, you think like you have heard so many things, and you feel like, this is the worst thing I'm ever gonna hear, and nothing of this nature can ever happen. You realize that most of the time it is just the beginning of many evil that is busy happening in our nation, happening in our country. So, but amen. For me, I always say, regardless of what a person could do to you, your life is more important than anything else. Instead of being at a place whereby you do something silly like that, I mean, just walk away, man. There's always a new beginning. Doesn't matter whether the person have hurt you. So the regret that comes afterward is more worse, than traumatizing somebody's life, or even you ending up behind bars. Because now it's because of the nature of the whole incident. It is now, it is now in public interest, because that's very vile, man. And you realize that it's not even people that are older. I mean, the girlfriend is about the guy is 23 and the girlfriend is 26. So it's young people. It's not like people that they've really lived their life, did so many things. But we're having a problem of relationship. It's not only in our country, but it's also worldwide, where you hear weird things that are busy happening That's why you really need to be at a place whereby you are safeguarding yourself, to a place whereby you don't want to do something silly like that. But as well as we say on this show, that before you really date somebody, know who you are getting yourself into, because you might get yourself, involved and entangled with somebody that can cut your life short, and put you into trauma. Imagine like being at a place whereby the trauma that comes with your tongue being cut, it's just very, very difficult. How is your life gonna be like afterwards? So that's why it's not just advisable to just be in a relationship, but know who you are getting yourself involved with, because some Means they have the power and the potential to devastate and ruin your whole entire life. But this relationship stuff, and please be cautious. That's why if you are in a abusive relationship, the best thing to do, man, either seek counseling, let people know what is busy happening, and find your way out. It's even if it feels like it's too late, you know what, it's never too late. So you can always get to move out, find a way, and rebuild your relationship, because the thing is that you felt like let me say, if in this instance, if the guy was abusive, but the lady never reported the matter to her family or to her friends. If something was said in the beginning, perhaps many people, they would have encouraged her to, just to make a good choice. But now sometimes it's that we keep so many things to ourselves. Somebody dies, somebody get injured, and you realize it was not supposed to be the case. And it's very devastating, man, to see young life being devastated, and so forth and so on. But it's a sad reality of what is busy happening in our nation. And as well, man, so don't carry the pride. Most of the time, men's will eight for others. If you are married, it's something else, and you can follow certain channels and stuff like that, especially if things that are on. But you find some people, man, men say 108, but you are very afraid to walk out of a relationship. It's not like, it's not like you have everything to lose and stuff like that, But if you are married, it's the issue of the kids and all type of stuff. But there's always a way. For me, I believe if a person starts beating you and you're married, they start abusing you verbally, physically, you begin to realize that there's no more love. You know what I'm saying? And find somebody to talk to your parents, talk to your pastor, to somebody that can give you proper advice. But you know what, your life is more precious than the relationship. And I wanted to say this, that many people, they are afraid to lose their reputation, because as people will start, pointing them fingers and say, you're posting this person on your socials, this thing where people, if they are dating, they go all out and they print t-shirts, the L and the O, the V and the E, that stands for love. The guy has the L and the O, the lady has the V and the E. They stop ronden the dorp, they send Vurman, you are going to Spa, you are around in town, you're doing the send copies. And most of the time, when the relationship is shaky, all what matters in people's head is like, that's all it means that as the Vietnams 80. After all, we've put out the show, people knew that we're dating, we're going out in places. But you realize that your reputation is not more important than your life. Your life is more important than your reputation. I mean, you can rebuild yourself, but once you are gone, once you are injured, once you are stabbed, once you are killed, you can't reverse the damage that is done to you. So that's why don't be at a place whereby that's all it means to them. People are always going to say something. People are always going to think about something. But your life, my friend, is more important than anything else. And when you talk about abuse, it's not only the women that are going through abuse. Men go through abuse as well. But you don't really hear some of those stories, But that's why you want to be at a place whereby you are open. And you know what? We are living in a society whereby there's a big stigma as if a man is busy reporting certain cases, because it feels like, what type of a man are you if you are undergoing abuse from your wife or your girlfriend? Somebody's beating you, are being bullied and stuff like that. But if that is the reality, what is going on in your home, in your relationship, just speak out, bro. Because there are some men, they generally don't like argument. The day they get angry, they do something silly. So it is better for you to be viewed as a sissy than for you to sit behind bars and go through something that you never wanted to go through. So that's why the issue is talking, man. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, let's close that chapter. So the other story that is busy happening is Michael Amushelelo. So Michael Amushelelo, some of you that knows this gentleman. So he was very much popular because of Forex. He had very expensive cars, and he has been a very controversial fellow. The guy had all of these cars, expensive cars, living a flashy life. You go to the ATMs and record his current bank status at the ATM while he's busy withdrawing and all that good stuff. So everybody, especially with the young people, they know who Michael is. But Michael has been involved in a number of things in his life. So he got arrested because of fraud and other cases that were put against him. And most of his property got seized. His accounts got frozen, and it has been a roller coaster for him. And in I think last year or so, he joined the NEF, Namibian EFF, economical what is it, EFF, NEF. What does EFF stand for, man? Namibia economical was something. It's somewhere in there. I can't believe that. I'm a big fan for Julius Malema. I like listening to him, but I don't know how the NEF has disappeared in my vocabulary and what it stands for. But I have joined the NEF, within the Namibia. Has been very vocal, shutting down, He got arrested a couple of times, and he's still behind bars now. He got arrested for destabilizing stabilizing the operation at Chinatown in Windhoek. You'll be seeing him vocal, going to KFC and a number of places, and demanding really a better wages and a better working environment for Namibian people. And on the 21st of March, he got arrested because they marched because of the high unemployment rate in the country. So he has been arrested ever since. But now there's been an article in the Namibian whereby the head of the police, Police Inspector General Joseph Shikongo, has rubbished the claims that the continuance of detention of a social activist, Michael Amushelelo, is due to the police. But they're simply saying that there are some people who are claiming that the reason why he's still being detained is because of the police. And we know that him and this man, there's a court case going on between Mr. Joseph and Michael. So Mr. Joseph took Michael to court for defamation of character. So there's a lawsuit against the guy. So the guy has all of these things that he need to go through. But in Michael's head, he really believes in his cause. He's busy fighting, and I think him being in prison, to him is just a fight and stuff like that. But that's what it is. So, but the claims that are there is that some people are claiming that there's a foul play. The reason why he's still in there, maybe it's because of the police and stuff like that. So the head of the police is saying there's nothing really. They don't have a handle on what's happening to Michael. So those things have been done at the court. So it's court cases, and the proceeding need to take its course. That's what's busy happening in with Michael's case. But it's amazing whereby our country's where it is, the unemployment rate and all type of stuff is busy happening, and nothing much seems to be changing. And it's very devastating. Okay, another story, man, of the level of starvation that is busy happening in our country. It says it's in the front page of the Namibian. Going to bed on an empty stomach, starvation haunts the Namibian house. It says Rosemary and her partner Magnus Vedbien sits around the fire before serving their dinner. So what they are really talking about is a case that this family, in many instances, they go to bed very much hungry. It says at times I have to divide that 50 between me and my 3 kids, who stays with their mother. If my cousin and his wife don't help me buy something to eat, I go for days without eating. He says he says he has learned to ignore the hunger pains. Sikolo's story is not isolated. Namibia is facing a starvation crisis with an estimate of 600 Namibian expected to be food insecure this year. Between July and September, at least 579,000 people in Namibia experience food insecurity. Meanwhile, the Office of the Prime Minister is preparing to roll out a 800 million drought relief program, which is expected to last until 2024. But what the article is simply just suggesting is that, das Biafra remains that Biaswar craze, so they are really suffering. There's a level of starvation. There's a lot of things that is busy happening, but it's amazing on sometimes when you realize how money gets stolen, whether through corruption, whether through what, then you realize that somebody has to divide a $50 among him and the family. And also wherever you're finding yourself, whether it's in the north, whether it's in the coast, you realize that poverty is everywhere, and in many cases 70% of Namibians are really they're really struggling. 30% of Namibians, you can say maybe they are a little bit well off. They have everything they want. And within that 30%, maybe 10, they are the people that are very much wealthy. But you realize that high majority of our people, are really living in deep poverty, whereby a person doesn't have a 3-course meal in a day, no breakfast, no lunch, no dinner, no supper, no nothing. And it's a pity. That's why we're asking, man. Cake war very drat, but your beer men say if they don't have anything, try to do something for them. One of the things that is very much amazing, especially in the time that we're living in today, is that life has changed, man. 20 years back, Opa Sondag at family mensen and beer mensen bordkos makar gegee. They were giving each other food. But in the time we're living in today, this was the like the famous statement that says, God for us almal man of Se'eye. You begin to realize that that's the reality, and that's the stage where we are in. And I want to encourage you, man. Have that humanitarian inside of you, that if you see your neighbor is really struggling, the kids of your neighbor, they are struggling, try handing them something, man. Give them food. I mean, there's net cost. I know life is very difficult, but there are people who are very less fortunate than you, and you can do something that you can to really help them, to be a blessing to them. So please look down to your fellow Namibians, fellow Kidmanswoper, and be at a place whereby you can assist them. Give something to eat, and those gesture is very much of a blessing to someone else who's at a dark spot. And the reality about life is that regardless of how bad it might look, life doesn't always remain at the same place. So life do change, and the same people that seems to be struggling, maybe tomorrow, man, they're gonna be helping you. Maybe it might not even be in the form of money, in the form of food, So you always gonna be in need, and the person that you look out today can look out to you tomorrow. So please do assist. So it is the game between Italy and Namibia. It is now almost 70 minutes. Italy is 31, Namibia is 8. Boys, we are here, man, backing you guys up. So give us good results, and let's continue supporting. So they are still just in group stages. So maybe Namibia can do what Argentina has done. The yesterday game was like a scope, but they had a turnaround in the other games. That's what football is about. But to me, I'm a big supporter. So I'm supporting Namibia. So Namibia until the end. But the score lies at 31-8. Italy 31, Namibia 8 is a 71 minute. So if you are listening to us, you just tuned in. So it's Karas FM. 103.5 FM. So we are listening to Dongaruk, Lemundrai, Westdene, Crowline, Dongaruk, Transname, Bileni, wherever you might be finding yourself, Smarties, other lines. We're very much happy that you are tuning with us, and we are very much glad that we can be of your means of entertainment and information this wonderful afternoon. So the other story that I wanted to bring out to you, it is the reality of the scammers. You know, people have been scammed of their money, especially those that are using FNB. You know, and I had incidences once. There was a day I got scammed when I was busy running a cell phone shop. You know, a guy that sent me fake wallet and stuff like that. And I think with scammers, I think you only become wiser. But if you have, as you know, you know, you will never be able to understand, especially now with this downtime where people, they'll promise you money, promise you this, it begins to become a problem. So I was busy selling a phone. This guy came in, wanted the phone, and he gave me cash. I think around about maybe 500 or something. He gave me cash. He said, no, the other money I'm gonna e-wallet to you. And you know what, things became things. You know, he was actually buying the phone for his friend. So then the guy was apparently on his way to loot race and stuff. So they played the game very well, man. So it was in the time whereby e-wallets were not really popular. All of us knew how FNB's e-wallet looked like, but we did not know how Standard Bank and Bank Windhoek look like, so, and NetBank, you know, so, and it became a problem. So they sent me this blue voucher type of stuff, and I was in the process of trying to fix up to put the phone together, put it in the box, give it to them. The e-wallet came in, and I gave the lady that was working with me in the shop to go working for me in the shop to go withdraw the money. When she got them, I mean, everything from the SMS to the name, you know, to how the whole FNB, Standard Bank's SMS look like when somebody sends you money. Everything is just the same, but the number was cloned. It was, I think they used like a 6-digit number, and you won't really be suspicious, because if it came from a cell phone number, you realize, okay, this is a cell phone number. But it came from a place of they use 6-digit numbers, and some people, they use these international numbers, so you won't be able to spot it out. We went there. It was like, it was big money, man, like 4.5, and you know, luckily enough, it was a phone that I was busy selling, so the loss was there, but not that much for me. And we went to the ATM, is invalid beneficiary, so I looked for the guy wherever I could look for him. To this day, I cannot use a number in my, you know, in my phone, but it's amazing. But what we wanna tell people is that, yes, buyer versigtig. Don't just, you feel like, know what they do now, né? For me, I've become, ever since that day when I got robbed, I'm never gonna be robbed again. Not again. And I've made that promise to myself. So what they do now, né? So they will download the FNB app, and they'll put in your number, then they will request for the OPD. So because your online is linked to your account, is linked to your number, then the SMS is going to come to your phone. So then they're going to call you. So now I'm calling from MTC, or I'm calling from FNB, you know, I'm just working an update on your account, whatever the whole thing, or you've won money. And they'll say, you have received now an SMS, we've sent you an SMS, can you quickly check? Then you check. So, okay, no, as you're busy checking, can you please read for me that OTP? And when you just check the OTP and you read it to them, they are busy locking in your account long before you know your whole money is being transferred. So don't be quick to give out your OTP to anybody, because it is very easy. You know, people download the FNB app. You just put in the number. You know, automatically that thing goes to it sends that SMS to the account holder, because it's linked to the person thing. So once you send the OTP, they got access into your account. They can change whatever they can change, withdraw whatever they need to withdraw. And sometimes you realize that in many cases, you get a call from somebody. It feels like the person is in the bank, Madame Seger Dani Book, or they are deep in Windhoek, or they are there in Walvis Bay, or they are there in Ruakana. And when you go check to say where was the money withdrawn, it's far from the place that you are, you know, because today it's very much easy. Veral mense wat goed is op Facebook verkoop. You put your number on, it's very easy for them to get your number. That's why, or even if as you have you got your pension, or you've gotten some money, or you run a business, sometimes don't just share your financial status with people, because as it means the means that can for your vehicle, and they can give your details to other people, and they can work for it, you know. And for people as well that like to double their money, you know, that you say, here for me 10,000 rand, you know, I can trade this money up for you and give you 20 and 30. There are people who they are legit, but there are some people whereby it is just they work on your greed, and you end up get robbed, you know. So you don't just wanna, you know, act out of deep concern for money, and later on you go regret later of losing your money. And you also max corneo, le lost next year, le fat alles. You know, lost. I heard of a lady that got robbed. It was a bonus month. It was within end of September, end of August now, and it was a bonus month. I don't know who gave the game away, and she had so many things to do, you know, and to her amazement, I think maybe she gave her OTP to this, but they cleared everything. I think she was just left with 97 cents. Alles gefat. And when she got checked where the money was withdrawn, the money got withdrawn in Swakop. You know, and a person in Kidmans, by the way, the same advert Ferris in Etienne Kidmans, and her account got cleaned up. So be cautious. You know, there's nothing wrong in wanting to do business. Don't be too greedy. As man say, oh, we can double the money, and or the OTP begin to come in. Omar, still read for me dynamo advice. Yes, next for me dynamo. When you read it, it's gone. You know, so your whole money is gone. So be very careful. Okay, but the story in the Namibian is of a FNB client. A client of the First National Bank, Namibia, has fallen victim to an e-wallet theft. Have hit back at the bank for saying they were tricked into revealing their pins. This counter reaction comes after more clients have come forward saying they have mysteriously lost money through e-wallet transaction. FNB wallet facility allows customers to send money to anyone with a Namibian cell phone number. Funds are transferred instantly and can be used to withdraw cash from FNB ATMs or to buy prepaid airtime. You know, but it says this lady, Ezra Caleb, this week lashed out at the bank for suggesting victims are gullible enough to share their pins with scammers. I am adamant that I did not share my pin with anyone. The bank does not want to take accountability and refund customers, she said. Caleb said that she lost 5,000 through an e-wallet transaction in January. She demanded the bank admit that their system has been cloned instead of blaming customers. She said after 7 months of reporting the matter to police, footage was released showing the money was withdrawn by a security guard. You know, so it's amazing. So, but what she's been suggesting is that people within the bank, I don't know, that's allegedly, it can be proven, but it says people within the bank, they are giving they are sharing the pin to third parties. I don't know how that possible is, but you know, with technology and stuff like that, anything is possible. And as you need your pen can doppel and stuff like that. I think there's a place whereby you can protect your pin, protect your e-wallet. But if you don't take those type of precaution and maybe just do pay to sell, sometimes it becomes very complicated, you know. But she's busy crying out. It says the money got withdrawn by a security guard. You know, they saw the camera footages. So it says the Namibian contacted the investigation police officer in charge of the e-wallet scam case Caleb opened. The officer was willing to provide information, but said he needs authorization from the commissioner first. Caleb said she meant to buy nappies for a newborn baby and other necessity with the money she was sent. I visited the bank and all they could tell me was that it was my fault because I may have shared my pin with someone else. That got me very angry, and I'm very disappointed because until today I have not received my money back, she said. Another victim who recently lost 500 through an e-wallet transaction, she had reported the incident to the bank but was told there was nothing they could do. I've lost 500 in the same way these people lost theirs. FNB just told me there's nothing they could do, and I just I must just create a pin to protect my e-wallet, she said on social media. But these things are busy happening, guys, and you really want to be careful. It is very om geld te kry is baie moeilik. you know, everybody is trying to do what they can do to get a bit of money, and whether they are stealing, whether they are doing all type of stuff, you know, they really don't, they really do not care. Okay, so the other sad news, ladies and gentlemen, is that the retailing icon Raymond Ackerman, founder of Pick and Pay, sorry for the tone that I've used it, but you know, he has passed on. But the reason why I'm really excited is the fact of not that I'm excited for his death, but just I think at the age where Ackerman has died, is a very, he was old in age. But what gets me excited about Ackerman is his entrepreneur spirit, whereby, you know, he died at the age of 92 or 92. He was born on the 6th. He died on the 6th of September this year, 2023, which is a few days back. But what's very much amazing about him is that, you know, his entrepreneurship spirit. You look at how many pick and pays we do have in Namibia, how many jobs he's created, you know, so it's very much amazing. So it's a bad loss, but it's also an inspiration as well. So Ackerman was born on 10th of March 1933 in Cape Town, and he has really advanced. So there are pick and pay retail shops across South Africa, Namibia, Botswana, Zambia, Nigeria, Eswatini, and Lesotho, over 56 years. You know, so and it's a life worth celebrating, and we really do appreciate people who makes a very deep impact on the world and in the lives of people, and we really do appreciate you know, your life, say, Mr. Ackerman. But it's a sad loss, you know. So, but you know what, you know, he was way advanced in age. He has really lived a life that has made an impact, and we really just want to appreciate him being a gift to the world, you know. So, but that's what's busy happening, guys. So Mr. Ackerman, the founder of Pick and Pay, you know, he has lost his life, and condolences to the family, you know. So to all of the Pick and Pay staffers, I know sometimes means that so fair as, you know, somebody might be working for Pick and Pay and they don't even know who Ackerman is, but you know, so but he's the founder, you know, so he's created so many jobs, and really just want to appreciate him. Okay, so we're gonna take a real quick break, then we're gonna come back. So we're gonna be having guests in the studio, you know, between 3 and 4, and you know, so we're gonna be discussing a number of issues, but I want to encourage you to simply step by. So you wanna update yourself what is busy happening in the newspapers and stuff like that. I couldn't give you all of the stories, but it is busy happening. There are many things happening in our country and happening across the board, but time has caught up with us. We couldn't really get to everybody or to all of the stories, but that is what's busy happening, ladies and gentlemen, you know. So wherever you're finding yourself, so please do you know, please do keep safe. Let's check where the scoreline is first before we take the break for Namibia and you know, and Namibia and Italy. My goodness, man! Now it's 50-8, and they are on the 83 minutes. So, but I'm putting on a pin live score so that I can be updated in terms of where we are. But ladies and gentlemen, it's Adora Tijesu, as we are taking a quick break and getting ourselves ready for the next session.